I'm Stuart Bloor. I'm at home, the door knocks, there's a delivery man there and he's got a big parcel waiting for me. Should we take a look and see what's inside? And in front of me, here are the goodies out of the box. At the bottom I've got some corn steep liquor pellets and I've already opened those and had a good sniff, and I'm thinking to myself, what self-respecting carp, bream, tench or barber for that matter can resist those? Here I've got some Flumino ground bait. I used that last year for the first time, very impressed, so I've decided to add some more to my armoury for the coming spring and summer. Now for the boilies, I've got some strawberry jam ones, and if you do follow my angling adventures on a regular basis, you'll know that I'm a fan of dips, so I've got some strawberry jam dip to accompany those. I've also got some pop-ups, some cranberry. I did use these briefly last year for tench and bream, very impressed, so I decided to get some more. And then to round off the bait side of things, I've got some squid and octopus boilies from the Flumino range there. And then finally, SBS has recently branched out from just bait into making bits and pieces. So here I've got some hook links that I'm going to try. Challenger and Discovery, two different types of hook link there. They'll certainly be featuring in my blogs over the coming months, so look out for those. I've also got some beads. I've opened them, as you can see there. These are protector beads to cover the swivel, and what I like about these, in the past I've used round ones, but what I like about these is they are elongated, so they fit neatly over the swivel and give it a good coverage really with that, so you know, the lead coming down against it. And then finally, my little bits and pieces. I love playing with all these items of tackle, like I'm sure all anglers do. I've got some hooks, and I've got some from the Enigma range, some size 6, some size 4s. So again, look forward to testing those and playing with those over the next few months. Basically, it's great to have this, but what we want to do is we want to fish with it. So let's get down the water's edge and give it a go. As you can see, it's a misty start to the day, but I've got the rods out, so I'm happy. It's actually going to clear up later, so we're predicted a nice, warm, sunny afternoon, so that suits me down to the ground. I'm fishing 2 rods, as I always do in this type of situation, and on the one I've got a cranberry boilie that you saw earlier, the pop-up in the video, and that's a 16mm, so I'm fishing that on one rod. On the other, one of my old favourites, the M1, I've got a 12mm pop-up there. Over the M1 I'm put some loose boilies out, M1 boilies of course, and some pellets and some ground bait, and over the cranberry I'm just fishing a single boilie over a bed of pellets and ground bait. The ground bait is the Flumino, again, that you saw earlier in the video, and the pellets are a Proactive multi-mix. So as always, I'm confident. You have to be confident. It's no good setting out thinking to yourself, I'll blank today. You have to be confident, and so I'm hopefully going to get a fish or 2 for the camera today. Fish on. Lovely run there. I managed to capture it on film as well. That's fantastic, isn't it? Well, this was on the M1. I can see it out there. Looks like a small common. The fish in here actually don't go very big, and that's the the important factor really. You can only catch what's in front of you, and if the fish don't go to 30 pounds, you can't catch them, can you? It's all about enjoying it, and I certainly enjoy it. Whether it's £3 or 30, I enjoy catching carp. In fact, I enjoy catching all fish, but today I'm focused on carp. Anyway, this is coming to the net now, and here it is, producing it for the camcorder. There you go. Well, that fish has just gone back in the same condition that it came out. Perfect. It's always good to get your first one on the bank, isn't it? Anyway, I'm going to celebrate with a cup of tea, and hopefully I'll get a few more. I was just thinking how slow it's been. It's afternoon now, and then the M1 rod again had a screamer. And I'm into another fish. That one has now gone back to its watery home. One thing I will say about the carp in this venue, they might not go very big, but some of them are absolutely stunning in their appearance. I've mentioned SBS baits quite a lot in this particular video, and some anglers have a problem with mentioning products and companies, and perhaps some even, after the opening clips to the video, switched off. I don't have a problem with sponsorship, partnerships, affiliations, call them what you will. From way back many years ago when it first became an issue, before the days of the internet even, when magazine writers were criticised and still are for plugging products, I've never had a problem with being involved with companies and sponsorship deals as a whole. The only thing that I would say is that if you are involved in a company, you are involved with a product, you have to be honest. So for example, I've said that so far the 2 fish that I caught were caught on M1. It's important that I'm honest about that, because anglers will watch videos like this, see that I'm catching fish on M1, and they will go out and buy it. It's all part of the confidence factor, because I'm asked 3 questions more than any other put together, and they are: how big was it? Where did you catch it? And what bait did you use? So I feel there's nothing wrong with mentioning products, but we have to be honest, and that's very, very important. And continuing with my thoughts on sponsorship and involvement in general, you hear all sorts of stories from folks. They say things like anglers are told to lie by bait companies, pressure's put on them to perform, they're told to photograph fish from different angles, wear different clothes, pass them off as separate fish, all that sort of thing. I mean, I don't know. I wonder how much of it is just rumour that's passed around, and how much of it is started off by spiteful people with an agenda who want to disrupt other companies, all that sort of stuff. I don't know. All I can say though is, from a personal perspective, I've been involved with SBS now, it must be 4 years, perhaps even more, maybe 5 or 6 years, time flies. And it was Des Taylor that I first got involved with when he ran the UK side of things, and I can honestly say, you know, in front of the camera, that from the beginning, you know, Des just said to me, fish with the stuff. If you catch stuff and you catch fish, obviously, you know, report it, that's what it's all about. But he never put any pressure on me at all. In fact, he said to me, you can fish with, you know, other stuff as well, you can fish with other baits, it's not an issue. And there was no pressure on me to, you know, to lie or anything, quite the opposite. And then when the UK side of things closed down and it continued in Hungary, I thought that was my, you know, the end of my involvement with SBS, but it wasn't. I continued to be involved like I am to the present day. And again, the folks in Hungary, at no point has any pressure ever been put on me to lie, to cheat about fish, or to pass something off that it isn't. So I don't know about all this sort of rumour mill business that goes around, how much of it is true, how much of it isn't. But all I can say is, from my own personal experiences, I've never encountered anything like that at all. I had the dreaded hook pull. Never mind, at least I've had 2 on the bank. It's been a very slow day today. In fact, quite surprised, because the conditions are perfect, ticking every box. But usually on here you see lots of feeding bubbles. The nature of the bed tends to give the fish away when they're feeding. I haven't seen any feeding bubbles at all. That's the first time that I've not seen any on here. and I haven't seen a single fish crash either, and that's unusual because there's nearly always fish activity above the surface. So it's been quite an unusual day, quite a tough day, a challenge, but at least I've caught, haven't I? Anyway, the video comes to an end now, and I've got perhaps another hour before I'm off, so you can find out how I get on in the written blog, and of course in the other sessions that I've got planned. And as always, if you're out and about yourself, tight lines.